We'll just wait for IT to start broadcasting. I will then open the meeting officially. Thank you. Good afternoon all, and a warm welcome to the Ad Hoc Committee on COVID-19 for the Western Cape Provincial Parliament. My name is Mireille Wenger and I'm the chairperson of the Ad Hoc Committee. A warm welcome to all the members as well as to our procedural officers assisting with us this afternoon. Do we have any apologies from members? No apologies have been received. Today we are meeting on the theme of citizen surveillance. However, I'm disappointed to inform the committee that there will be no departments presenting today. The procedural officers of this committee have done their utmost over the last 2 weeks to get confirmation from the National Departments of Health and Department of Communications to no avail. The Health Minister's office did respond timelessly that he was unable to attend. The Director General of Health, however, and despite numerous follow-ups, failed to confirm and attend this meeting. According to the regulations that we are aware of, it is in fact the DG of Health that has delegated powers in the regulations with regard to citizen surveillance, or as it's called, contact tracing. As for the Department of Communications, we were in touch with the Acting Minister's office and department with no response until this Monday. We were then informed that the Communication Department is not the correct department dealing with citizen surveillance. We've sent follow-up correspondence with the regulations of the end of March, which prescribes citizen surveillance to that department, but we received a response yesterday noting that the Electronic Communications Post and Broadcasting Directions published new regulations which deleted the paragraphs relating to contact tracing. We've now been advised that the Department of Home Affairs is the custodian of the COVID-19 tracing database and has the power to request location-based information from mobile operators, from our cell phone companies essentially. So we trust that there's nothing to hide here, and therefore I'd like to put it to the committee that we reschedule a meeting on this theme to next week, Wednesday, and re-invite the Health DG and now include Home Affairs Department in our invitations. Would that be acceptable to the committee?
Agreed, Chair.
Support, Chair. Deirdre.
Are there any objections?
Agreed. No, agreed, Chair.
Thank you very much, members. So my apologies for that. So we will try our very best to make sure that we have the correct departments that can answer our questions on how contact tracing or citizen surveillance is taking place as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, then, I thought we could begin our discussions about the parameters of public participation and also deal with some outstanding committee administration. We do have some minutes to adopt, etc. So on public participation, the committee, I think, would do well to include an element of public participation in our work. And I thought that as they relate to our existing themes, we could, for example, include voices from the private sector, as well as invite public comments on our committee report. So I'd like to ask members to think about what types of public participation they would like to include for this committee, centered around the themes that we've agreed to. We can then discuss this further next week. But if there are any inputs at this stage, if members have given thought to this matter, please do raise them at this point. Honourable Bartman.
Thank you, Chairperson. I would like to suggest at the public participation phase, and perhaps yourself and the procedural officer can use nice English to assist me in this. If we could please invite the various business chambers, sector associations, businesses in general in the Western Cape to make representations or submissions in writing regarding any impact that the COVID-19 has had on their businesses, as well as on the employees, and if a particular focus could even perhaps be put on the financial, tourism and construction sectors, given their impact within the provincial economy, please, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honourable Bartman, for those constructive inputs. Are there any other inputs at this stage from members? Honourable van der Westhuizen. I'll recognise Honourable van der Westhuizen and then you, Honourable Syed.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chair. I was just wondering whether we shouldn't invite the private health sector and ask them also some questions regarding their readiness, how they see their role, because this is a national pandemic which is going to affect many South Africans. And I just believe that this is an ideal opportunity where a partnership should develop between the private and public sector role players. And I think in that spirit, I would like to know to what extent is that partnership already cemented, and what can we expect from such cooperation?
Thank you very much, Honourable van der Westhuizen. We will certainly add that to our list of things for the public participation in the committee. Honourable Syed.
Thank you, Chair. I agree with the proposals of the colleagues that have spoken before me. Just wanted to add also, perhaps, for each sector that we've been focusing on. So, okay, healthcare, we've got now the private care work. I mean, we've got now your private care hospitals. We can also add possibly nursing unions, possibly healthcare forums in communities. So we could also have those formations, but I'm saying that in each and every space that we've been operating in this committee, whether it be education, whether it be community safety, whether it be local government, let's look at getting stakeholders that are non-governmental in that particular space, particularly those from the public. I think that's going to definitely add strength, because I like this idea of a public participation approach. So I think, for example, when it comes to schools, let's try to get also governing body associations. Let's perhaps also try to get also teachers' unions, a variety of unions, not only one, but let's try to do that. When it comes to the element of community safety, let's get some of the neighborhood watch associations, some of the CPF, so we can get a variety of perspectives from all of these sectors. When it comes to labor, let us get unions as well. Let us, of course, get also, I mean, for example, I mean, like the chambers. So I would say that let us throw ideas here, and I think it's a good thing. But then if the chair could, after this particular meeting, possibly working with a support team, put together a list and a program, possibly and then we can probably then look at that in the next meeting for endorsement and further discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Syed. That's very helpful. Yes, the intention is that in our next meeting that we actually kind of bed down what that program would look like, and we can then put that program together and then use the constituency period to arrange all of those briefings, but also to give time for public inputs on the committee's report itself. And we can build all of that into the public participation. So absolutely, we'll come back to you next week based on these suggestions that have been brought here today for the committee to discuss and panel beat as part of our public participation program. And if members do have additional inputs that they'd like to make in the days before next week, Wednesday, please feel free to email. I see Honourable Botha.
Thank you, Chair. I'm also adding ISASA, the Independent Schools Association of South Africa, and then also I think another interest, because we're going to level 3 on Monday. More people are going to go back into the economy and back into their workspaces. So the ECDs is of importance in that sphere. So I'd like to look at that also, please. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Honourable Botha, for those suggestions. I've taken note of all of them. Are there any further inputs from members at this stage?
Chairperson Gillian Bosman here.
Honourable Bosman, please proceed.
If I could perhaps suggest that we also invite the umbrella bodies that specifically manage privately run old age home and child and youth care facilities.
Thank you very much. I think that's also very helpful, because we know that elder care homes are a cause for concern if there are infections in those spaces. So certainly we'll add that as well, so that we can understand what's happening in that space. Honourable Botha, is that your hand again? And Honourable Syed?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, Chair, it's not. Maybe it's from previously.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Are there any other inputs then before we go off and put this in a proposal for the committee? None. Thank you very much. I just also wanted to bring to the attention of committee members a press statement that's just been released from the Ministry of Health. Some members were present in the NCOP yesterday, so would know that there was some confusion about one of the slides about hotspots and the levels that hotspots would be at. But the press statement from the National Health Ministry states or confirms that the whole country will move to alert level 3 on the 1st of June. I'm sure that will be on the wire, on your wires shortly. Then, members, we are going to have a look. Could I just check with the procedural officer about the minutes that we need to adopt?
Good day, Chairperson. Chairperson, it's Lizette. Can you hear me?
Thank you, Ms. Klitter. Yes, please proceed.
Yes, we're going to adopt the minutes in next week's meeting, which is the 3rd of June.
Thank you very much. And my apologies, I had that incorrectly stated on my notes that I made for the meeting. All right. Okay, so to recap, we are going to re-invite the Department of Health, National Department of Health, and we are going to send an invitation to the Department of Home Affairs to appear at next week's Standing Committee on the theme of citizen surveillance. We're also going to then discuss and confirm our public participation program for this committee, and we will then also adopt minutes. We also do have the Department of Health, the Provincial Department of Health, coming the week thereafter to provide us with an update on the health preparedness. If there are any particular items that you would like to add to that meeting, please feel free to do so, and if you'd be able to email those through. Then under general, are there any points members would like to raise?
None, Chair.
None. Thank you very much. Then this would be our shortest ad hoc committee meeting to date. Thank you very much, members, for your participation, and we will then see you next week. Stay safe. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.